What's up everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to revisit Dandadan and actually think about who the most mysterious character is. For a show like this, there's a decent list of characters that can fall into this category. For instance, Turbo Granny, the crazy old lady who likes to take guys' balls. But even with that weird ass hobby that we see with Turbo Granny, she doesn't have my full attention or will take the award for the most mysterious character. Definitely maybe the most freakiest character. But what about Momo's best friend, Gene? We know very little about him, except that he's a childhood best friend. He's real chill, he's real good-lucky. He doesn't seem to have any romantic relationships towards Momo. And he seems to get no sleep because of a spirit that watches him at night. And also, I know, for those wondering, I haven't read the manga, so I know nothing about that or what happened. So let's not spoil it for me or anyone else. But with that being said, Gene doesn't get my attention. He's probably the least interesting character of the show, weirdly enough. Okay, anyway, so it's not a yokai or a new character like Gene. Not even Momo catches my attention as the most mysterious because everything about her is pretty out there. Or even the pink-haired girl who fell in love with Okarun and now has her own superpowers. Aida, I think that was her name. Then, who could it be? Also, a quick rant, the episode about the yokai's life was, not gonna lie, one of the saddest and unexpected episodes I thought I would watch in Dandadan. It got real fast. I did not expect such a goofy and weird anime to get serious, and I'd like to touch on that in a different video. The life of the yokai that Aida inherited was super depressing. Okay, enough yapping. The character I know nothing about is Okarun. Now some of you might be thinking, what do you mean? He's one of the main characters, like everything about him is out there in the open, and not really. I kind of started to think about that when I was watching the show. He's almost like an outlier. Like, we don't know anything about him. Nothing. No family, nothing. I just don't want to believe that an anime as creative and vibrant as Dandadan would overlook this main character. Because in my eyes, Okarun is probably more of a main character than Momo. So, why does Okarun have the same name as the guy Momo is obsessed with, Ken Takakura? At first, I kind of overlooked this and thought nothing of it. But the more I think about it, the more I ask myself, is that really a coincidence? Is the author just doing that as just part of the plot, or is there more to it? So before we continue, I asked myself, who is Ken Takura, the guy Momo talks about that she's in love with, that has the same name as Okarun? Well, he's a famous actor. And yeah, that's about all I found out. There was nothing much I could really think about that tied them together. Shit was weird. So what do I do when I'm lost? Google. Yes, the internet, where everyone gathers together to try and figure stuff out. So I googled, who is Okarun? And well, I got a few hits. I was just curious. I couldn't really think of who the hell he is, so I let the internet try to tell me what they think. And I had some pretty outward weird possibilities, some that made more sense. But let me share the two that stood out the most to me. And this is probably the weirdest one. The first one is that he himself is an alien. I don't know, but that could be it, to be honest. We never see his family. He's obsessed with aliens, and according to this blog I read, they think because he's mentioned something about a Trojan horse, it was a reference to him being a Trojan horse. And I think that was like in episode 1 when he's like explaining things about aliens to Momo, and he opens the book and he utters the words Trojan horse. And also, for those who don't know what a Trojan horse is, it's usually used to describe like malicious software disguised as legitimate software, basically hidden malware. So it's like if you put a mask on and underneath you're really somebody else. So that's kind of what Trojan horse is. It dates back into like Roman times and not this extra. I'm not a history teacher. We're not getting into that. So in other words, he's like a hidden alien, a Trojan alien, perhaps. The more I read the blog and thought about it, the more it kind of made sense to me. Could he actually be an alien? But if he is, why doesn't he remember? Why would he like Momo? Does this explain why he's able to get into those empty spaces and interact with the aliens despite not always being transformed into his yokai mode? Or is he just stuck in there once he's not in the yokai mode? I don't know. As we can see, there are many questions that follow this theory. I can't say for sure, but there has to be more to it than just that's part of the story. That's just who Okarun is. We don't need to know more about him. Even if we never get to know anything about him, it really wouldn't take away from how great the anime is to me. I would just find it as a weird void in it. But that's the first theory. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Let's move on to the second theory. Now the second theory, and I'll keep this one like short, extremely short. There's not much to it. We all know how big of a crush Momo has on the celebrity Ken Takura. I think that's his name. I might have forgotten it. Some speculate that her desire to be with a celebrity and her power could have somehow created Okarun. This one almost wasn't as weird, but it made a lot of sense to me. We don't know much about Momo's power, even though it's kind of weird. It kind of reminds me like when people go crazy and are like schizo and they think someone's there and they never really exist, like some Shutter Island type of vibes. Although they threw this theory out there that it could be part of her want to be with Ken Takeda, so Okarun is kind of like a figment of her imagination or an entity she created through her powers. There isn't much to support this theory. It's pretty straightforward. Personally, I don't think this could be a very big possibility, even though it would be one hell of a plot twist at the end if like the anime is ending and then she like realizes, oh, you know, he was never really there. I think that would be a sucky ending to the anime. I don't think that's it. I don't know why they threw this theory out there. I think it's just because we don't know much about Momo's powers overall, so it became like a possibility. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. What do you think? Are these two theories, is Okarun a figment of Momo's imagination and her powers, or is he an alien? Or is he just a normal dude that likes aliens and they're just going through adventures and wacky shit and he's trying to find his nuts? Well, there you have it. If you've made it this far, let me know what you think about these theories. Or if you have any of your own, comment below and make sure to give a quick like and subscribe for more content. I'll see you guys again next time. Peace.